Hello everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful day. For those of you who don't know, my name is Amanda McConey and I'm the host of the Tax Studio Sessions. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about investments. Now, this episode is coming just before Valentine's Day, so I thought we'd add a little seasonal twist and talk about how investing in yourself is an act of self-love. Whether it's building wealth, creating security, or taking care of your loved ones, investments are a way to show yourself and your future a whole lot of love. In this episode, we are going to be covering why investing is one of the most powerful financial moves you can make, different types of investments and how to get started, some practical steps to create an investment plan for 2025, and how to avoid common mistakes and stay consistent. So grab a cup of tea or something a little fancier if you're feeling the Valentine's Day vibe. Let's get into this. Why should you fall in love with investing? Investing isn't just about making money, it's about creating a life that you love. Investing is using your money to make more money. It's about growing your wealth over time so you can achieve your goals, whether that's retiring early, buying your dream home, or simply feeling financially secure. Now, while it might not seem like it, this is such a great act of self-love. You're prioritizing your future self and ensuring that you have the resources to live the life that you want. You're reducing future financial stress by letting your money work for you, and you're also giving yourself the option and freedom to choose how exactly you spend your time and your money. Think of investing as planting seeds. It takes patience, but with care, those seeds grow into something truly beautiful. Many people often feel intimidated about investing and they worry about making mistakes. That's completely normal, but it's all about starting small, and that is so much better than not starting at all. So, what type of investments should you have? If we start to break down some common investments and what they're best for, hopefully this will help you know what exactly you should start with and what you should go for. The first one is stock shares. Now, what exactly are these? These are when you buy a share, you're buying a small piece of a company. Stocks can grow in value and pay dividends, which is a portion of the company's profits to their shareholders, which you now are. So who are these stock share options great for? These are so great for people looking for long-term growth, but it's important to note that they do come with slightly higher risks. Imagine buying shares in a company like Apple or Tesla and watching your investments grow as the company succeeds. It takes time, it takes patience, and it honestly takes a lot of trust and dedication in knowing that that company is going to perform well. Another option is bonds. Bonds is a loan that you give to companies or governments in exchange for interest payments. Bonds are especially great for people who would like low risk and steady income. Bonds can be a great way to balance the risk of stocks in your portfolio, so it might be beneficial to have a little mix of both. Another form of investment is an ISA. This is an individual savings account. These are tax-efficient accounts where your investments grow free of capital gains or income tax. These are especially ideal for anyone saving for the long term with a current annual limit of £20,000. You could potentially consider mixing your stocks and share ISAs if you want to invest while minimizing your tax. Another common form of investment that I honestly think a lot of people don't think is investing because it's something that's just automatically usually deducted from your payslip. It's something that pretty much everybody knows about, but pensions. These are long-term investment plans designed to provide you income when you retire. These are essential for absolutely everyone. You are investing in your future self. By contributing to your pension, you're sending love letters to your future self with a great big financial reward at the end of it. The final form of investment that we're going to talk about is funds and ETFs. ETFs are known as exchange traded funds. So what exactly are they? What is an ETF? This is a collection of investments that are grouped together that make them a lot easier to manage. And these are so great for those of you who are beginners, those of you who want diversification without having to pick out individual stocks. It's important to look for low-cost ETF that track major indices like the FTSE 100 or the S&P 500. While I know we've only spoken briefly about these different forms of investment, we will have some extra information in our upcoming newsletter, and we'll also do a little series on our Instagram and social media going into a lot more detail regarding these types of investments and giving you guys some useful links to ensure you're in the best investing position. Now, how exactly can you create your 2025 investment plan? The first step would be to set clear goals. Start by asking yourself, what exactly am I investing? Are you investing for retirement, to buy a house, or simply for financial freedom? Once you've got this in line, you can then figure out what your timeline is. For example, if you're looking to invest for retirement, but you know you're not going to be retiring for another 30 years, you have a wider scope of time to do this in. However, if you're looking to buy a house and you're ideally aiming to buy a house in the next 3 years, that reduces your timeline significantly. So for short-term goals, which would essentially be the 1 to 3 year, so for example, like buying a house like we've mentioned, this is where it's essential to keep the investments in cash or low risk investments. You don't want to jeopardize this too much. The last thing you want is to be saving towards a house and have £10,000 in a high risk investment and then risk losing it all. For long-term goals, which is anything over 5 years, you can consider higher risk options like stocks or funds, purely because they do fluctuate. They depend on the market, they depend on so many different things, like all investments do. But at least if it's a long-term investment, you can watch them dip, you can watch them rise. There's a lot more leniency in how high they fluctuate that you can tolerate, which will make it so much easier for you to not be so cautious over these investments. The second step sort of ties in, which is knowing your risk tolerance. Are you okay with the fluctuations in your portfolio, or would you rather some stability? I think one thing that we need to remember is that with high risk comes high reward. But again, it is high risk. So it just depends on what you can tolerate. I think we often see that a lot of younger investors can afford to take a lot more risks because they have a lot more time to recover from it, right? If you're investing at 18 or 20 or 25 or even 30, you have a lot more time to see what happens, to see what is going to take and to see what's not going to take. You can afford to take a lot more hits. You can afford to deal with the market dips. But if you're a little bit older or you're reaching retirement age, you don't want to risk this. Again, high risk comes high reward. It might be so wonderful and so great, but you could end up losing everything that you've worked for. So you just have to know what your risk tolerance is, and that will help you streamline exactly the type of investments that you should have and that you can start or continue to invest in. The next step would be to start small and to stay consistent. Invest whatever you can, whether that's £10 a month, £50 a month, or even £100 a month. It just makes such a big difference over time. A great app that I really like to use is Vanguard. I also know a couple of people who use Nutmeg or Moneybox. These are great to help start with low fees and simple interfaces. A great thing to do with these is to automate your contributions so you don't really have to think about it. It just makes the process so much easier and so much simpler. The next step, once you've sort of got a kickstart, once you're up and running, you're feeling a little bit more comfortable in your investment journey, you can start to diversify your portfolio. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. We hear it all the time, but it's so important in investment. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your investments across different types of investments, be this stocks, bonds, and funds. This will help to reduce the risk and also increase the likelihood of steady returns. Once you have all of these in place, you can then monitor and adjust your investments accordingly. Hopefully at this point, you've obviously then been investing for a little while, or at the very least, you're very comfortable with the investing process. This will make it a lot easier for you to check your investments quarterly and ensure that they're performing as expected. I know it's hard, but try your best to not panic during market dips. The market dips, the market rises. That is just the essence of the market. Highs and lows are common in life, and they are very common with the market as well. So try to not panic. Investing is a long-term game. The best time to start investing was yesterday, and the second best time to start is today. So get on it, be proactive, and do everything that you can to secure your future through investments. As great as investing is, and I'm such a big advocate for it, there are a lot of common mistakes that people make. The first one being simply waiting too long to start. People wait till they have more money. People wait until they're in a better position. People wait until they're older. Just start. Start today. The earlier you invest, the more time your money has to grow through compounding. You're going to be so much worse off than someone who put their money in and has left it for 50 years. The second mistake that people often make is putting emotion over logic. And I think while we see this in a lot of different areas, and sometimes you need more emotion, sometimes you need a bit more logic, with finances, you need logic. Pure, hard, concrete logic. Do not let fear or greed drive your decisions. Do not let jealousy or competition drive your decisions. Stick to your plan. Make a plan and stick to it no matter what. The next mistake that I think we see a lot of people making is neglecting fees. High fees can eat into your returns. Fees are bound to be there. You have to expect that. But if you have too high fees, they will eat into your returns naturally. Try to look for low-cost investment options. The last mistake, especially with a lot of younger investors who can afford to take high risks, of course you can, but I think sometimes we see them not having a safety net. Having a safety net is so important, especially when you get to a point in your life where perhaps you are relying a lot more on investments. We saw it with the rise, crash, and I guess now somewhat stability of crypto, right? Where a lot of people were investing in crypto, making very, very high returns and essentially living off of that because they knew what they were doing. The market then dipped, they lost all their money, and they didn't have a safety net to help them. They didn't have a safety net to bounce back on. This can happen with anything. I understand that crypto was sort of like the latest craze. Another one will be coming and another one will be coming after that. Make sure that you have a safety net and always prioritize your emergency fund before investing. You never know what could happen. So just make sure that you have that safety net ready for you. Think of investing as a marathon and not a sprint. All you have to do is stay patient and stay focused. So that's it for today. I hope that this guide to planning for your 2025 investments has inspired you a little bit to take that step towards financial freedom. Investing is all about showing yourself love. It's about showing your future self love and knowing that you can build something amazing and something great. And it's also about showing your current self love and having that discipline. One thing that I've heard so many times, and it really has stuck with me, is that discipline is one of the greatest forms of self-love that you can give yourself. It's not divulging into instant gratification. It's holding out for the long game and prioritizing your goals, prioritizing your dreams, and prioritizing your future. That is exactly what investing is all about. It's about showing yourself that love and that discipline and giving yourself the ultimate gift of love, which is discipline. You'll help to create that security for not just yourself, but also the people that you care about. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's all about progress. Small little steps and plans that we stick to and are diligent with are the way that we're going to succeed in this investing game. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who might be ready to start their investing journey. Remember, the second best time to start is today, so make sure that you help others start today as well. As always, make sure you follow us on Instagram at The Tax Studio Company for more tips, tools, and motivational points to help you grow. Here's to a future filled with love, security, and financial abundance. You got this, guys. Happy Valentine's Day.